a data flow. You can change the name, and I need to add the source. Okay, so I will add source. Source is same like your this one. We can add some data set here. Let us take. You can add or you can create existing. Let us choose this. CSV. Continue. We have a blob storage container. What is the file we have? Practice. Let us take a small file now. Okay. Sample one. Okay. This is my source. Just connection. I'm just doing a test connection for this one. So this is source. In this, okay, we'll discuss later on this schema drift. Okay, so these are the different set of options we have. So schema drift and all these things we'll discuss later. This is just to make sure, like if I'm changing, see now you have transferred few set of columns data, okay, and you have in the source you have different set of columns, okay, then you should handle it. Normally now I have taken somewhere around, I have shared a file with 10 columns, okay, and if I'm going to add two more columns, okay, so what will happen in the normal scenarios? If I don't enable this, it will get failed because those additional two columns you're not going to add. Okay, so for that, we will allow schema drift so that even if any changes from the source in the schema, our side, we will allow schema drift to have those changes into our target system. Okay, that is allow schema drift. We will see in detail with example and allow schema drift. This is an important thing. Okay, so we'll see with some uh, other options. Okay, see some examples. So all these options we can have it. This one. Okay, so even this one also same similar way. So if any drifted columns or you'll see this validate. Okay, sorry. Okay, same. So we will be having different options here. So all are related to column definitions. So these all options are related to column definitions. We will see each and everything uh, with a simple example. So now we have only one file. I'll try to get a different set of files so that we will see how we can do. Okay. Now next one is, so you know all these things, right? So source options, different wildcards, and how many files, multi-line. Okay. So here we have something else called as after completion. What we need to do? No need to do anything. Delete source files. Move from one file to one position to another position. See this from practice to another. Okay. Moving files after completion will override the existing files. If you look at this, we have done this using copy activity, right? So I asked you, right? Okay, I want to move these, and then after moving that, I want to delete it. But in the data flow, we have this option enabled. Okay. Did you got like last time we discussed what we have discussed using copy activity and delete activity?
Yeah, yeah. We inserted two activities in the same pipeline, copy and delete.
Yes. So what this is, what this option? move or delete source files, what does it do? Instead of doing those too many things, after completing, what we need to do with this file, right?
Yeah.
Everybody remember, or is it only Ramakrishna was remembered? I want response. You guys remember this? No option. If we discussed on this, nobody remember what we have discussed.
I think we haven't discussed move function, move keyword.
It is not keyword. Copy
Again, your
activity.
own process side.
Copy activity. What we have done. What we
Yeah,
have done with the
we have
copy
copied
activity.
from source to sync.
Yeah, there are two things I told you. ADLS. ADLS to ADLS. So you are moving from one location to another location.
Okay.
Another one is from ADLS to database. Here, after completion, let us take you have loaded the file. After loading the file, you will have one more activity where you will move the file from unprocessed to processed. I told you this, right? You'll be having two directories, unprocessed and processed. Once you load the data into database, what you're going to do? What you're going to do?
Not getting your question.
Unprocessed, you have customer file. Okay, you have loaded into database. After that, what you are going to do with this file? Are you keeping this file in the unprocessed?
No.
Where you are going? You have one more directory called as processed, right? After loading into database, move file from unprocessed folder to processed. This is this is the one I told you, right? You will be having two things, and either you will do this or you will use delete activity, right? These are the two steps I asked you guys to do as well. First, you load into database ADLS to database Azure SQL Server, and then perform this action. Use copy activity to move from unprocessed, or what I have done, practice folder to I have moved it to destination, or I have used delete activity to delete it. Move means copy activity.
Okay. So both are
There is
same.
nothing, no activity like move activity. It is a copy activity. I am copying this to this.
Okay, we have done. I thought movies are different from cop.
We don't have that. See, that is what I am asking in a logical way. You have performed that action. Okay, there is no such activity called as move. When you are moving it, you should move it. That is what copy plus delete is nothing but a move,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
What about others? As if you don't understand or if you are not getting it, let me know, or else if I'm go on saying this is a tool you will remember, which is sorry, you'll forget. Still no update. Okay, fine, let it be. I'll just follow my option. So this wildcard paths, partitions. So This is partitions is nothing but this is for what you say. You can split it, okay, and read in a default way. Like we'll be having different methods in this, like the default method, round robin, hash. So there are different methods in it, okay. And then so multi-line, maximum number of columns. This many columns you can read, and this is projection. So this is something like mapping, okay. So what we can do, we can change the data type if needed. Since I it is string, so there is no date to specify the format. So you can import or define default format.
Import projection is there.
So this is like you don't find, see, all are strings, okay. So let us have, do we have anything? Nothing. See, it is detecting string, string, integer. If any date format is there, normally we use this for a date format, okay. So whenever any date format is there, date of birth or anything, you can change the options, so like format. No, normally you don't see that. See, integer means it got this. So, but we don't need this. If any date format, we can have. So this is just like dollars or amount. If you have any amount, you can. If you want to display dollar, you can. But this is not required. Normally, we use this format for what do you say? This might date format. Okay, and optimize. You can ignore this. You can have the partitions. So we'll see later on these partitions and all these things in the later sessions. Okay, and this is just to check how many columns, what is the data type, and all these things. Okay, so this is about the source. It's simple. Like the main thing in this source options is when you are creating the data set, allow scribble if it is someone. Okay, and if you want to select the list of files or move the files or delete source files, this is the main thing. Okay, but I don't want to do anything as of now. Okay, next, if I click on this, see there is a small plus symbol over there. Okay, so here I can choose anything. Okay, but I can also search here. If I want to filter, this is a filter. I will add a filter. What kind of filter we need? So we have a small data set with 4 columns. Okay. Let us have filter here. See here, when I click here, see the first thing is source incoming. What is the incoming stream? This is a source one. So this is the incoming stream for this filter. So what I'll do, I will add here. So what to write here? So if you are confused on what to write, you can open the expression builder. If I click on expression builder, see, have you seen this? I clicked here. After clicking on this, I'll get something called as open expression builder at the bottom. Okay. So if I click this, I have got all the column names. Here, 4 column names. And I also got some expressions and all these things. Okay. These are all the functions which we have. So I want to filter gender. See these expressions. What I want to search for. I want to search for equal to what value it is. Yes, I want to filter only males. Okay. And I have male and female. So I want to filter only male. So this is my expression. If you want more expression, we spoke about and or, right?
Yeah.
So this is and, this is or. Okay. Okay, so you have all these expressions. Okay, array of symbols, less than, greater than, not equal to. Okay, so all these equal to's and addition, subtraction. So if you want to derive any amount, any new column, or you want to derive that, you have some other thing, define new column, and you can have that. For now, let us use just filter. Okay, gender equal to m, same. Okay, so this is my filter. So here you can see the data preview. See this number of rows, insert, update, delete, all these things, right? When we are performing actions, it will see this 1, 3, 5. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, actually 5 records. But here I am getting only these three. Okay, because we filtered only m, gender equal to m, right? So you can just check what is the data. So I had filter on this column, gender column. See this used filter. Optimize, you can ignore this for now. Okay. In filter, similarly, you can have other sets as well. For now, we will have only filter. So now, what else? I want to have a file sync. Okay. I'll just use sync filter. I'll just create a new data set. Deleted. We have a link service. I'll just choose my container. I'm just using the container name alone. Okay, this is my sync. You know what is meant by sync, right?
Yes.
You guys know what is meant by sync.
Our destination target.
Okay. So now what we are doing, we are taking a file, we are filtering. The see it is giving explanation as well. Filtering rows using expressions on column gender, and sync is nothing but we are just having. Okay. So here we have file name options. Even if you have multiple files, then you will be having some file name options as well. Okay, you can change your file name options. And if you have any errors, how you are going to do? Asset failure rows. That means if you get any errors, what you are going to do? Okay, so for that you can use this link service. So in the blob storage, you can keep that files into some location. Okay, you will see that in the error handling concept. So mapping, skip a duplicate input column, skip output duplicate column. So all these things are output options we have. So like auto mapping, we have enabled auto mapping so that it will come as is, or else you should keep the column name. If you disable this, you will be having column name. What is the output column name? You can change the output column name based on this one. Okay. You can skip the duplicate input columns. If you have multiple column names, it will filter it down and you will have it. You can ignore this optimize. You can just see this. How we are handling this data. Inspect is nothing but how your data mapping is and what you are doing is. Because to debug, to check, okay, what column where it is going and all those things, we'll use this inspect. Okay. Now let us save this. Okay, let us validate to check if everything is correct. Okay, if everything is correct. Now, if you look at this, we don't have any debug here to run, or where you will be running. You don't have anything to run here. What do you need to do? You need to use pipeline tool. Okay, drag and drop your data flow here. Now try to debug. sales. So when you have created your data flow, even your data flow should be part of the pipeline. Okay.
Can you click on Dataflow?
Sales. This is the data flow. Data flow, if you want to change your data flow, you have to go and change it here. Okay. So this is kind of a activity. You are creating a data flow and you are adding it to your pipeline. All these things are pipeline settings. In your pipeline, what you are going to do. Okay. Now let us see in our storage. If we have that file, you're trying to see if we have that options, whatever we have done in the data flow here, right? You'll not get that. The data flow is separate. There, your data flow is.
Yeah.
Storage browser. Block container. Destination. Say this. There is a file created. Edit. See. I got these 3 records. This is how we'll be using filter and the data flow. And this is a log which shows how it ran. Now we will be having file. Okay. So success means it created a 0 byte file, like there is nothing, no errors. If any errors, it will be displayed that error part here. Okay. You will be having a log where you can check if any errors. Similarly, you can have another options as well. Okay. So to try to use few set of amount columns. Okay. Item wise, I asked you to create order file, order table, right? Similarly, same that file, we can have order table, order items, so that we can come up with the total amount or derived amount, some GST amount, calculate some GST. So you can have one derived column from that. Okay. And you can select only few set of columns and aggregate it. So we will see each and every option in the next sessions. Based on this, like we will be having, I need a data sets to be created. I'll create the data sets and then we'll try each and everything. With this small data set, we cannot have all these columns because based on your data, you need to derive this. So whatever we have, based on that, we cannot aggregate. You can choose it, but what you can do, you can have only count. Okay, this is select columns, which columns you need to have. So we have some data sets where you will be having only specific, like see count. So we have seen minimum, maximum, all those things. So for that, we need to have few set of exact amount data. Aggregations means always you need to have amount, right? So we cannot have whatever the data set we have now, that we cannot have anything. Okay, we will see. I'll take a data set and then we can result. Okay. And we will stop it here for today. We'll see further options in tomorrow's session. So only if you do hands-on, you will remember this.